But our playground's really going to be a little bit closer to Ath 5K. New driver, fully open source, includes almost every feature that Mad Wi-Fi has. The rest of them are coming soon. A guy before me that gave me this idea named Kugu-Saman, he released a patch, yeah, Kugu. He released a patch for a debug regulatory domain. What it does is it enables all the channels that it said it was able to support. So you look through the code a little bit and you find some really funny stuff. Like set this to 1 to disable regulatory domain restrictions. Finally, I'm not the only one that finds it funny. All right. Yeah, this may be illegal, blah, blah, blah. Next. The transceiver supports from 4920 to 6.1 gigahertz. And from 4312 to 2.732 gigahertz. Wow. Channel -19. I don't think that works right, but that's okay. And then you'll notice a little bit down the bottom about 4.8 gigahertz. Okay. Man, does this thing work at all? No. What, you still charging, Larry? Oh, that's a shame. All right, so yesterday, the kernel supported the following frequencies, right? Right now, the two cards that I've had a chance to test with, the Ubiquity... That one hit the top, man. That was a nice shot. All right, so the first card I had the chance to test was the Ubiquity Super Range card bus. I can't say enough about Atheros, and I can't say enough about Ubiquity. They make good stuff. Namely, I think they must have left off a chip that limits what I'm allowed to set, because the driver limitations are the only things I've hit so far. Okay? 2.192 gigahertz up through 2.732, and then from 4.8 gigahertz to 6.0. Why do I say 6.0 and not 6.1? Ask me why my Ubiquity doesn't transmit anymore. I do this for your safety, people. It's an expensive card to blow up. Okay? I also tested a standard off-the-shelf card, random thing that I picked up at Best Buy, a Linksys WPC 55AG. It's an ABG Atheros card, version 1.3. Had a couple of things like that laying around. I tested it, and what's really fun is it supports 2277 to 2484. But it'll claim to support the rest of the channels, it just doesn't actually set them. So I have to give you fair warning. I am testing with the Ubiquity Super Range card bus. The patches I release support that card. If you have something else, I'm sure it's extendable, but unless you buy me one and buy me a $20,000 spectrum analyzer, I really can't tell you what your card supports. I can try, but I've only got a couple of friends that let me borrow gear like that, and I can't really walk away with it. Okay? Nobody would let me borrow it for the stage demo. I'm sorry, but those of you that manage to find my access point will know that I'm not making this all up. Okay? It will differ from card to card. I currently have one working Atheros card that was given to me by Michael Osman. If you're here, you're my hero. Thank you. It's the only Atheros card I have left that can transmit. And King Tuna. Thank you. That's my backup card in case I blow up this one doing the contest. Okay? What's on these frequencies? A lot of stuff that says DOD. Anybody in here want to admit that they're a 3-letter organization? You can see me after class. I'd love to talk about this stuff. How do you guys use these frequencies? No? Okay. Amateur radio. Actually, if you're a licensed amateur radio operator, some of these frequencies are fair game. Okay? Satellite. Let me say that again. XM and Sirius satellite radio. I'm not saying an 802.11 card could read them, but if you were transmitting on that channel, people will get mad. Okay? Let me throw a little bit of wisdom down on you guys. Sirius and XM satellite radio operate with about a -117 to a -110 or so receive sensitivity. And you're praying, because even a really low power card is going to go quite far. And who has a nice satellite radio in their car? A guy with a Mercedes, a BMW, a really rich guy that's going to get mad. He's going to call the FCC, and then they're going to find you, and you're going to get arrested. And I'm super sorry about that, but I told you not to transmit. Okay? Other frequencies, once again, a lot of DoD space. 4.4 gig to 4.99 is DoD. A lot of that's sub-allocated to public safety, police. Some interesting articles online if you look up public safety frequencies. security cameras, Washington, D.C. Anyway, many real license implementations are a little bit broken. To make use of the normal drivers, they'll add in special things in the HAL, so when you say channel 1, it sets whatever the bottom frequency for that card is, 4.92 gigahertz or whatever it happens to be. It's done to make all this stuff easy, fluid, and probably because otherwise you'd know that it's the same card. Breaks a lot of stuff, okay? Aerodump NG supports a list of frequencies to scan now rather than channels, so it can set these channels and sniff. Problem is, it only shows the channels in the display. So it says channel 1. You don't know if it's really channel 1. Might be, might not be. Improvement was needed because the sniffers are just too trusting. Nobody was looking at this stuff before. Nobody knew it was broken, so why fix it? Why would you look for something that doesn't exist? It wasn't intended this way. So we have Kismet. Kismet-Newcore fully supports the frequency ranges, displays channels, and every frequency it's seen a packet from, and it weights them based on how many % of the packets it's seen on that frequency. Saves PCAP files with the full original header, and Dragorn is my hero. Who else loves Dragorn? Man, you're going to like him even more after this. I had him put this slide together to tease you all. He was going to release Kismet-Newcore Test 1 release so that people could play with it. Unfortunately, he was trying to set up free radius so that all of you wouldn't be using the unsecure network. How'd that work out, by the way? I noticed you're all using the unsecure network anyway. So we spent a week trying to secure your butts because the free radius didn't work right for him. So he has a new UI, better logging, improved features, better mapping software, auto device configuration. Remember how when you boot up Backtrack 3, it didn't know what card you have? Now they don't even have to add anything to Backtrack 4. It'll automatically detect what the card is. That's cool. Oh yeah, and apparently he got bored and added DECT phone sniffing support. Okay? This is what it looks like, kids. This is cool. I can't say enough about this man. Y-Spy interface built right in, showing you the frequencies, showing you the channels, showing you the security, showing you what percentage of the beacon frames you're not seeing. Is there anything this man can't do? I guess it doesn't make me a sandwich. Okay? Pretty screenshots, pretty screenshots, pretty screenshots. And if you want any more, you're going to have to go download it. Okay. Updates from the talk from before. Old reg in the kernel was a problem. Okay? Contained a few very small static regulatory definitions. You really couldn't, it wasn't flexible. It was built right in. What's the problem to all, what's the solution to all kernel problems? More user space, right? We're just going to add in some more user space. They made an app called Central Regulatory Domain Agent. Okay? Takes input from visible access points or from the user through a program called IW and sets an accurately legal regulatory domain based on what country you're in. It uses a separate wireless regulatory database that contains the country code information. This is actually a powerful enough system that I could release working patches. See, I remember a day and Mutz came to me and he said, yeah, I just applied your new frequency patch to Backtrack. I said, ooh, man, they're going to be mad at you. Why? It seemed cool. Oh, I hard disabled transmit. I mean, we would have had so many people asking why they can't crack their neighbor's web key that would have seemed like any other day. Okay? The problem with the patches is if I didn't hard disable transmit, you couldn't stay within the law. The second you turn on the card, it would transmit looking for access points on every frequency. For that, I apologize. They fixed it. Okay? New patch doesn't patch the old regulatory domain information at all, which means if you don't have CRDA, if you don't have my new stuff installed, everything works and you're legal. But you can't use the fun frequencies. If you install CRDA and the wireless regulatory database, now you'll be able to start using extended frequencies without having to worry about whether you're breaking the law or not. It will prevent you from transmitting on the channels that you're not allowed to, and it will allow you to sniff only on those channels. That maintains you, that maintains me,